Hey, welcome to the Isaac Jarnagin podcast. Today I talked to Harrison Reed, owner of Hope You're Happy, which put simply is a clothing brand that puts out high quality pieces, and all of them enable positive conversation around mental health and being good to yourself. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Like I said, pieces are super high quality. Some of the profits go to a great cause. It's good vibes all around. Let's get into it. Yo, what's good, Harry?
What's up, my man? How are you?
Good. What about yourself?
Good.
You're the first person that I've had on that I have never talked to before and know very little about. So I'm kind of excited.
So,
We'll see how awkward I actually am.
I was going through my texts and everything, and I don't know if you remember this, but I'm pretty sure we were supposed to meet like back in December or January. Like Jonas and Jeff were gonna link us up.
Were you in there? You were in that chat. Gotcha. Yeah. I had a flight booked out to Tampa. I found like a $130 round trip to a town near Tampa, and I was gonna pop out, but some circumstances happened. To enable that.
Riding out there at the same time.
Right. Dude, that's sick. So yeah, I guess we have crossed paths before. Dude.
Yeah, looked into all your shit. I was like probably as interested in you as you are in me. I like looked through all that and I saw like the website, peeped through like all of your extra work, and like I saw the thing you were like, I don't know what it was, but you were like 2019, I was this, 2020, 2021. Yeah. Super deep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, saw that you did some creative directory for like a clothing brand and like all that shit.
Yeah. So funny enough, I'll let you talk about yourself, but my first venture that I ever was just like, here's what I want to try. I want to do something different from this school life. My first thing I did was sell t-shirts. So I kind of know the game a little bit, but tell me more about you or what you've been doing growing up.
Well, are you going to school right now currently?
I'm withdrawn, so I'm full-time freelance.
Okay. And you're how old?
I'm 20.
Okay, yeah, so we're in the exact same boat. I just turned 21 and I completely like withdrew or dropped out this year. So this will be like my first full year. I would be a senior, but I'm not going to school, thing like that.
Okay.
So basically, bro, it started all around April of 2022.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of people after COVID and everything, found myself super unmotivated and lost as fuck, really. I didn't know. I was like in high school and just growing up, like hockey was my only thing. It was like the only thing I knew. I didn't do really anything else. I was like my only thing, like no school, literally just hockey. All I cared about. And then COVID hit. That's not a thing anymore. I got to like go to school now, figure out what to do. Ended up going to Quinnipiac and kind of like following my brother a little bit in his footsteps, because he went there after a semester. I was like, this is not for me, and transferred to a school in Boston called Suffolk. I'm from like Massachusetts, only like 30 minutes away from Boston itself, and had the time of my life, like really adapted into almost like the city life, and saw so many different. I'm from a small town, like there's no diversity or anything like that. So jumped into a city. It was like basically the same thing I saw at Quinnipiac. Just like really no diversity. Everyone was doing the exact same thing, trying to be like sales or finance. And I just like wasn't really I didn't like not fit in, but I just wasn't interested in like around a bunch of like-minded people. And I ended up going into Suffolk. Loved it. Like I said, found a bunch of like diversity friends, and it really opened my eyes up into what I really wanted to do. Just being in like a big city, like you're one person in a massive city. Like, what are you going to do to actually like stand out and benefit from yourself? And school was never my thing. Like always sitting there in class, looking at like super dope clothes and brands and different things, and following like lifestyles of brands. Because like fashion's always been my thing since I was like a little kid. I always had like super dope clothes, came from like pretty privileged background, like super grateful, and was able to get like all the cool things that I was like interested in and wanted. So just like sitting there in class, like not listening to a single thing, like I bet so many people can relate to that. And I just like, got more and more like unmotivated and on a decline. had one of my buddies move into my house. I lived into a house with like 8 of my best friends from school. So again, like completely out of this game, like so unmotivated and just like in the sense of around 8 people that are my best friends, and we're all telling you, like, you know what I mean? We're all topping each other on like stupider shit.
Yeah.
And got super, super depressed. All caught up to me. I was like, dude, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to be in school. I don't necessarily know if I want to be in this house. Like, nothing against any of these people. I love all of them to death. But is it really beneficial for me? And I had a friend move in with me. He, again, was like kind of in a similar situation. His kid's never gone to school or anything like that. And was always at a little bit of like a freelancer himself. And we just started like, all right, what are we going to do? Like, we're both in the exact same space. Decided on making a clothing brand, and just making a clothing brand at first, nothing behind it, anything like that. And we're just going to print vintage graphics, and thought that it was really going to go somewhere. Like, no story, no message, no lifestyle or anything behind the brand, just vintage graphics.
Right.
Didn't even print one of those before my brain started going, all right, well, I don't think people can get a vintage graphic a million volts. Why are they going to buy mine? I mean,
yeah.
Like, what can I do to actually make people want to buy this and actually benefit from the clothes and make a cool community? And then start looking at what's going on in my life and going on in my friend's life, and drafted up a bunch of names, and I came up with Hope You're Happy. And at first, it was just going to be, all right, let's do different themed drops almost. And the first one will be like suicide awareness and mental health, because like that was a very big thing to us in that time. And I fell in love with it like instantly. Just my passion kept growing. And I was like, nope, this is like what I'm doing. My homie ended up moving out to Thailand, and we kind of split, and he was like focusing on different things. And we had a conversation, and he's like, man, this brand, like, you've been doing basically a lot of the work, like and take it. And so I took it and I ran with it, and haven't looked back since. And luckily had like a super big, and luckily, like, I just got very lucky. And I'll go into that word lucky later on. But with just like the dedication and the passion, I saw the brand just grow so much because of that. So that's basically where I'm at now. And now basically at this point where we've grown over 10K followers in 8 months, like organically. And I'm holding back on like pushing any ads or spending any money on advertising, marketing, or anything like that. I'm really just honing into building a community. And I got a bunch of cool things going on in the background that I'm super stoked about. Will really build that sense of community. I just recently dropped a blog. And that's like another thing I'll go into is like, I say we, and it's almost like I talk about me and Hope You're Happy, but they are the same thing, because I'm the only one really. I am the only one doing that. There's nobody else doing a brand. I'm like talking. I have one best friend that I'll like, hey man, do you think this graphic's cool? Or do you think this design's cool? What do you think about this, that, the other thing? But there's nobody like doing this with me. And that's like something I also wanted to like find, is maybe like potentially a team to work with. When you're looking for something like that, like you're not going to find it. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to find people. I've had like, I work with Jeff and a couple other people, but I really like trying to find a team of people. And it's so hard because we're 20, 21 years old. You know what I mean? Everyone that's either doing their own thing and freelancing and trying to make their own way, or in school. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to find a family where I want to like grow with. Just doing it myself isn't that.
Right. And what I've noticed with my communities that I've tried to build up is, even when you're on your own, it's not your brand. It's hard to say I and me and stuff like that. Like, it is truly we. It's you, and you're speaking on behalf of the people that support you. So I really respect that. Are you fully going at this right now, or is this a side gig?
Fully
Gotcha.
going at it. Yeah,
That's sick.
I won't stop until like everybody knows about Hope You're Happy. You know what I mean? Like, it's my number one goal right now is to make that thing grow as big as it can. Know it will. Like the name from the name to the message to the community, everything, like it's there. It's gonna just grow. I just focus and time.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, truly. Step back a little bit. How'd you end up going from Massachusetts to Los Angeles to Tampa?
Very like yeah. That's what I'm saying. The last 8 months have felt like 4 years. From Massachusetts to Los Angeles, quick, maybe a month there, figuring out like myself almost.
Yeah.
And where the brand's going to go from Los Angeles back to Massachusetts to figure out, all right, money now. Now I need, you know what I mean? I figured out myself. Now let's figure out like how we're going to build the brand and how we're going to monetize it.
Yeah.
And through just like living at home, I moved out of the house in Boston. So I was able to like luckily live with my dad and like have rent for free, which I think like a lot of people might look down on.
Yeah.
That's what you know what I mean? But I'm going to, I feel like anybody should take that. You know what I mean? Save as much money as you can while you're building something because all that money is getting reinvested right back into it.
Right.
So I took that opportunity, saved up a bunch of money and was able to move into a really, really nice place down here in Tampa and focus on building that community and a team around the brand itself. That was not something that I was able to do in Massachusetts.
Right, for sure. And yeah, like you said, you get looked down with moving back with the parents. It's like not everyone's blessed with parents, and if like you got it and you have a vision in mind and you're mostly an online business, why not? Why aren't people looking towards that?
Exactly. You just got to be grateful for everything. You know what I mean? If you're looking at that and you can look at it in so many different ways. I think like almost everything is situational and there's a spectrum to everything. And if you can just look at it and be grateful for the situation, then I don't think you'll have that big of a problem with it.
Yeah. Where'd you develop your love for design, brand building? Did that start Yeah, you had that all your life, but when's like the first time you remember that kind of starting to think about that?
I think after I conceptualized the brand from the day that the Instagram account was started and there wasn't anything posted on it, I've been obsessed.
Yeah.
I think I've maybe gone out like a handful of times in the duration of the time that the brand's grown and become a thing because I'm just so obsessed with now what other skills can I grow to make myself better and benefit from like I've just pretty much just got into like photography and editing. I've had those skills and I'm now like honing back into them and everything. I've had the design skills for Photoshop and everything since I was little, but just growing everything else. And I was always super, super into design as a little kid and always been a creative. But ever since I started the brand, I've just video everything and anything I can do to make it better is what I've been doing.
Exactly. And that obsession that you're feeling, I want to find a way we can get everyone to get honed in on that. That's where like the purpose of life comes out. You know, that's where you start losing those feelings of hopelessness and depression is when you find something that you get that obsession towards. And it's such the most relieving feeling ever. Have you ever seen
something?
Yeah.
I think I try to take a lot of inspiration from a lot of different things. And I'm really, really into like the UFC and MMA. I've always been like a boxer and always done those different things. And Israel Adesanya, he just won his belt back. And he took the mic from Joe Rogan and literally was like, I wish everyone can feel this sense of happiness. And I think like that goes exactly into what you're saying is happiness comes from feeling that pride. And if you're not proud of anything, then you're not going to find that level of happiness and obsession over anything. So I think it all comes down to being like prideful in what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. My first feeling of that started, I'd say January 2019 when I was 16 years old. Somewhere along the lines of I got like my first A minus in school because I was always like really societal. Like I'm like, all right, this is what society's telling me. I got to do this. Well, this first A minus meant a lot to me. It's just like, hey, wait, I'm still fine. I have a lot of side interests that I haven't given interest because that doesn't seem like the societal thing to do. And that's when I really took my first step at anything, which was selling shirts. I started mundane clothing. It was handwritten mundane with a line through it. And it just meant so much to me because it's like, all right, let's quit with this ordinary, boring crap, put an X through it, and let's go at something. So ever since January 2019 has been my kind of go ahead to pursue whatever that obsession brings me towards. It's just so important. And I just want people to hear the conversations we're talking about so that they're able to find it themselves with their interests. But it's hard to do for other people just because we're so honed in toward it.
I love that. I think that's such an important thing to like spread that positivity. And honestly, going back on that, is that really when you started? Like, when did you start picking up the camera and editing and doing all those things? When I saw through everything, you got some very, very like high level stuff. And then you did like the Pepsi commercial and you have like these very little brands that you work with. So like, where did that all come from?
So I'll go way, way back. The first time I ever encountered creative media, well, I'll even step back further. I also grew up in a very small town of 1,000 people in the cornfields of Iowa. Not a lot of diversity there. I relate with you there. Just very streamlined. The very first time I ran into any sort of creative media was my brother playing Call of Duty and trick shotting. So he started that, and he was an editor for a few teams every once in a while when FaZe Clan had like hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
2013 era.
Exactly. So I would have been like in grade school. He would have been middle school and high school. He was running in After Effects editing these trick shots. Obviously, with him being 6 years older than me, I looked up to the crap out of him. So I couldn't really play the Xbox because he was playing it. But it got me into like computer gaming. And that's when YouTube and gaming and creating all started for me. But it was always a side thing. Everything I did, I was embarrassed about it. So for years, I was doing these things, but was hiding them. At school, I was like, good grades, be interested in the very narrow things that the people there are interested in. And then on the side, I'll kind of do this. So it's been since I've been young that I've really been pushing towards that. But when I say that January 19 date, that's kind of like, I don't give a heck anymore. And that's when I started doing the brand. That's when I picked up a camera for the first time. I bought it for that same sort of thing as you. Just like every skill that I need to learn how to build this freelance /brand /anything, I'm going to start it right then and there. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. So did you then have like all of those skills, or did you just start from being a little kid like, all right, let me pick up the camera, let me start editing these videos, let me start editing these pictures?
I had basic editing skills. I did video stuff with my phone, but when it come to technical camera stuff, I didn't pick that up until I started selling shirts, which I'm so happy I started doing that because it taught me my main income stream right now is all having to do with the camera. So like, making the decision of doing something different through this brand that I'm not really utilizing as much anymore has still learned me so much to what I'm able to do today. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think in my 2 years of going to university, I think in the last 6 to 8 months, I've learned quadruple the amount of knowledge through just experience. Crazy. It's crazy. And that's why I don't think the social construct of like going to college is going to be like normalized in a couple of years, and that conversation is like so popular right now.
I think you're right. It's still in the conversation, but I think the obvious trend is the more we talk about it, the more downhill it's going to go. I mean, in my opinion, but
100% all you see, and like I think it's almost becoming like a trend. I don't know, on my TikTok and it's definitely like geared towards me, but it's literally becoming a trend to like own a clothing brand and all these different things, and like
Yeah.
own these businesses and do drop shipping or whatever your like niche may be.
Yeah.
It's crazy how popularized it's becoming to
Yeah.
try to like break that normalcy.
Yeah.
Going to college, going to university, getting a job, working a 9 to 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not that followers mean anything, but 10,000 organic followers in 8 months. Insane. What was step one when you started Hope You're Happy? What did you focus on? And what was your like trial and error? What did you see success in? What did you see not work? Kind of that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I think I can, for sure. I listened to this thing a couple of days ago, and it was talking about how this TikTok account, it was like some woman that would make like one-off recipes, like super healthy versions of recipes that weren't necessarily super healthy. She had 100 to like 200 followers, and she monetized those followers by making a cookbook. And these were like actually like very sincere followers that she had like a very core following. She ended up making $10,000 a month only off those 100 people. So I think building a community is like the number one thing. And that was always at the forefront of my mind. And how do you actually like not just sell a product, but sell an actual lifestyle? You know what I mean? And we have the lifestyle of like, it's okay not to be okay. And the world is better with you in it. And that's like those are like the most true statements I could think of. And I think everyone can relate to those two things. And building a community off of that was like the number one thing. And then I did get super, super lucky of like, I got an amazing mentor. They're a big brand. They got like 85,000 followers, called Dreamers Club. And they're in like a very similar lane, where they're like a brand about like achieving your dreams. And they have like pretty positive affirmations on their sweatshirts, like exactly like Hope You're Happy. And I was lucky enough to get into a mentorship program and end up just becoming friends with the two owners, Judy and Peter. And I literally thank a lot of my success to them, because they showed me a perfect ad strategy, launch strategy, basically just how to own a business as a 21-year-old. And basically through 3 months, it was like a whole college experience. Like, they showed me so much of just how to run a brand, like a growth brand versus a lifestyle brand. And actually, like, if you want to grow, you got to reinvest all these different things. And I think the number one thing that for the growth would be reinvesting everything, and their ad strategy that they taught me was able to like grow the following. Awesome. And we also have a very, very good offer. That's like a number one thing as well, is like you have to offer something to the individual and the consumer. And we obviously have like a very positive offer, and that mixed with what I've been graciously gifted, it's just like a recipe for success, like right off the rip. So
yeah,
lucky with that. But I want to go back.
Yes,
I mentioned that earlier, the word like luck. And I think I have a very different definition of luck than a lot of different people. I think preparation, meeting opportunity is luck. If you're not prepared for something and you have that opportunity, you're never going to be able to establish anything off of that. But if you're prepared and then that opportunity comes, you're going to take it and run. And that's exactly what happened with Hope You're Happy. Like, yes, people say, oh my God, you got so lucky. But no, I've prepared for 6 months for that to happen. And then I just got the opportunity and just kept going with it. And I think that's like one of the most important things to it. It's not, I don't think that luck just like happens. You have to be super, super prepared and focused on whatever it is. And then you will get gifted that opportunity.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I mean, the truest statement ever is your one DM or your one connection or your one conversation away from your life completely changing. And what is missed out with that statement is you do have to be prepared for it. I engage with conversations pretty often with businesses or individuals or brands, and all my prior experiences and the way I present them to these people is part of that process. You know what I mean? So that's where it comes into, like you talked about your 6 months preparing, or it's been my years of doing random projects like the Pepsi project or the Come and Go project or taking family photos for a random family. It all combines together in presenting yourself towards these people and these opportunities. So yes, you're one conversation away, but it's not just like that. You got to try hard too every day to further yourself.
Day after day that builds, and that preparation. When I say 6 months, that's 6 months on the brand, but that's not 6 months building on myself and my relationship,
Right.
how I want to out situation.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
just keep thinking every day on yourself and what you're doing to get to that point. And that's like a big part of the brand as well. Is like you just got to build every day. It's perfect, like I said before, it's perfectly normal and okay to have an off day and have a day where you don't feel okay. There's 365 days in a year, and nobody's perfect, and nobody's gonna feel perfect all of those days.
Yeah.
So you just gotta keep building, and then you can almost like try to limit the levels of how you might fucking go down one day, and then you come. You know what I mean? You're just gonna be balanced.
Yeah.
It's like a big inspiration of mine is I tried to take inspiration from a bunch of different things. It'd be like Casey Neistat. And he had that video where he was talking about there's boredom where you've done too little, or there's burnout where you've done too much. And it's just a seesaw.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that just like perfectly replicates balance. I think it represents balance. I think balance, like the biggest things in life and mental health and everything, is be like, you just got to balance everything. Can't be too happy. Can't be too sad.
Right.
Can't be mad. You can't be, you know what I mean? There's just like, you just got to balance everything. And it's okay to feel those emotions. It's completely normal.
For sure.
But the balance in your emotions is like the emotional maturity I feel like that you need to have to be able to even own a brand.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. This is, right now it's kind of a weird question, but I want to normalize it. So I'm going to ask it. But how are you doing right now? Just in general. How you doing?
Oh, I don't think, I don't even think I think that's a good, I do think
that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I think, like I said earlier, I think it's like situational. Like right now, I'm perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could get off this this call and something bad could happen and it could ruin the rest of my day. And like I said, I'm like a normal person like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm working as I'm like owning the brand and maturing with everything to not let things like that limit the rest of my day or not get affected by, even if something was to happen after this and it was to make my week, how can I make it so it'll just make me happy, like for how I should be feeling, or how about something happens and I should feel sad, but not let it get to a point where it's like a roller coaster of everything, just trying to stay stationary and balanced, like we just talked about.
Exactly. Casey Neistat. Yeah. That man has made it into about every podcast somehow that I've recorded. Casey Neistat. I love that guy, bro. He's so awesome.
I think everyone in our space like can just appreciate all of his work.
Oh, 100%. And just the raw passion behind it. Oh, hello, Fluffer.
Yeah, it's Doug.
Doug, the man, dude.
Yep.
My house,
right?
Yeah, of course. My house I'm moving into it's gonna have a fenced-in backyard, so I might have Bentley, my dog, come out and pop out to the new place every once in a while, or maybe we just host him there, dude. That'd be sick.
Are you living in Iowa still?
Yeah, I'm gonna be living in Iowa. I got no reason to move, and I'm kind of still figuring out life quite a bit. So it's like, paying $300 a month, $400, $500 a month for rent, not a bad way to go. Gives me lots of opportunity to do random flights to Tampa or to Orange County or whatever. I like that option, so I'm sticking here.
Quick little how'd you meet Jeff?
How to meet Jeff?
Yeah. How'd you guys link up?
So COVID sucked, right? We all knew that. What I did do though is put a lot of time into interacting with people on socials. Just a lot of networking. If I vibe with your stuff, I was going to tell you that. I was going to DM you that. I'm like, keep up the good work. So that led me to connecting with a lot of mostly photo and video people, because that's what I was kind of really, really into at the time. And there was one group chat that I was very active in, and Jeff wasn't in that one. Jeff was in this random like group chat that was made, and we're literally just gonna follow for follow, like a really ingenuine one. And it was stupid, and I don't talk to anyone in there. But for some reason, ever since, Jeff and I have just always talked since then. So we've been talking on and off since 2020, and that's how I know him, and we've just connected ever since. And it's been this like really cool outside perspective on my life, on how I can be improving my life, and just knowing that there's someone out there that's like also pursuing a very similar thing to what I'm doing. So that's how I know Jeff. But
That's dope. I think
yeah,
something that like people don't necessarily like focus on with COVID is like, yeah, in that sense, people did benefit from it. You know what I mean? You just
yes,
talked about like you were totally, guys will like link up and benefit from that relationship and actually have like a legitimate relationship. You just met in a little group chat. Like that's
right.
is the power, I think, of like our generation too.
Yeah,
It's like not something to take lightly. Is like you're in Iowa, Jeff's from Tampa. You just DM'd him randomly, you know what I mean? And now you guys are like linking up on a podcast and like sharing knowledge to people.
Doing podcasts, flying out. He talked about in the pod I recorded with him. He wants to fly out for steak, dude. Yeah, so
I saw that.
I'm forever in awe in how close I've gotten with people in those chats. It's been really cool. I
think that's like our generation. I think that's such a generation. If you did that through our parents and a bunch of group chats with a bunch of, you know what I mean? I don't think anything's coming out of that. I think that is a big generational gap.
Yeah.
And something that like is really crazy about our generation is how much like people connect with each other like randomly.
Yeah, and I did a very intense, almost business consulting and analyzing sort of call with someone an hour ago, right before our podcast, with someone I also met online. He drove through Ames and we had a coffee conversation, and now that's going to be a person that I look to for just like the realest business advice that people usually get from people that live within them. But it's like, no, this is who I'm putting my trust in. Like, I love what he has to say to me. I love what I have to say to him. And it's just a fun interaction.
Business people. I don't know. I think the business community is one that's very, very interesting. It's something that if you find the right people can totally like have the longest lasting relationships.
Oh yeah.
And somebody that's a little bit of a snake.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, snakes can be hard for sure. You got to watch out with that. How has your circle changed from, you'd say you were in a rougher spot 2020 versus now where you're feeling perfect and you're feeling motivated and dedicated towards Hope You're Happy? What changes were made there between 2022 and right now?
I think distancing myself from almost everything. I've had a pretty crazy like 21 years and a lot of experiences, a lot of positive and a lot of negative ones. But I try to look even at the negative situations that have happened and take the positives out of that and almost use them as learning experiences. And I had to really when I went back home and was just trying to grab all the money to move down here, I don't think I saw anybody for a while. And that wasn't in a sense of me being depressed or angry, you know what I mean? I just really wanted to figure myself out and figure out what circle I wanted to be in and who I wanted to surround myself with. And I think I am still very, very close with everyone that I was always good friends with, but it's about having like, again, balance with everything. And I really try to surround myself day in and day out with like-minded individuals that are really trying to push themselves and in almost like a freelance type of mindset.
Yeah.
Just because we all look like are young entrepreneurs. And, but again, I think also you can have a burnout to that and just hanging out with only people that are like, you're only surrounding yourself with people that are trying to make X amount of money and do X amount of things.
Yeah.
You do need to be a normal person and just vibe out and watch TV with your homies every once in a while by yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think my circle hasn't changed too much. I think maybe my position in that circle has been the thing that's changed. If you can like, if that makes sense. Just my position in the circle. Nothing negative. It's just only so I can benefit myself and everyone around me.
Right.
And I think I know I am a way better person now than I was 6 months ago, and a way, way better person now than I was 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And if I can keep just building on that, then I don't have a problem hanging out, you know what I mean? Doing what 21-year-olds do.
Right.
But
exactly.
it just needs to be that balance for me where I can then pull myself away and focus on the things that need to be done.
Right.
And all people, like, I treat like those 10,000 people like they're my, like, you know what I mean? Like they're only following Hope You're Happy. I think that's like a good way to look at it, is like, if you put that sense of pressure on yourself, then you're always thinking about it, because it's different with HYH too, because it's a mental health brand. You know what I mean? So a lot of these people you don't know why a lot of these people are following it. Like, yes, we do have very, very new clothes, like in maybe like some new trends that haven't been seen.
Right.
Also, those people are following it for like affirmation and stuff like that. So you have to be on it and daily, like, making sure that people are seeing the account and seeing like a positive affirmation, because that's why they're following it. They can get their clothes anywhere else.
Right.
They follow it because it feels like a family to them. It doesn't feel like a clothing brand necessarily.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want. I don't want it to feel just like a Instagram brand or a clothing brand.
Yeah.
People will email for like customer support service and everything. And I had people doing it from like the Philippines and like hiring people and outsourcing all of that. And I almost felt bad because it's not at a point now where I need to outsource that. I still can give 20, 30, 40 minutes a day and responding to all these emails and personalizing them to where the person actually feels heard. You know what I mean? And you'll get responses back that are like, "Oh my God, Harrison, thank you so much. I hope everything's going well." Da 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 da. I just had like an example where a girl had to cancel her sweatshirt because she's moving all around the country and doing like an abroad movement where like 2 days she's somewhere and then like 2 days she's somewhere else. And with that, she like emailed me and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to like cancel my order." And if you just like, I was like, "Oh my God, it's okay." Da 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 da, whatever her name is. And someone just came in the house. My bad.
You're good.
Well, I'll restart. Basically, somebody emailed me, said that they had to cancel their order, and with that, I was like able to like just email them and be like super personable about it. Yeah. And like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, if you want, I can send it to a new address, or we can just like hold the credit, da 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 da. Hope your semester was well." And actually just like, you know what I mean? Because I care. Those people put in $100 for a sweatshirt. They don't need to do that. They're doing it for me almost.
Right.
Is like a good think about it.
Yeah.
And if you can just be personable to those people, that gives them so much more like it just gives you a better sense of community and a better relationship with your customers. That's like the one thing I try to take most pride in, is like I think I have a very, very good relationship with all the customers and consumers. And I don't really even call them customers. Like it's like a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how I think about it is like it's
That's
like a family.
And that's a whole nother side of it is like you're wanting her to feel good, but also if she were to feel bad, that would make you feel terrible, you know? It's like it's a family, it really is.
Yeah. And that's like, yeah, that's the number one thing. Like when I was coming up and conceptualizing the brand, like I said earlier, I didn't want to just be selling mock-ups and selling shirts.
Yeah.
I wanted there to be a story behind it and people have like an actual reason to buy it. And then a sense of community comes with that. It doesn't just come from nothing.
Well, I'm happy you switched your model away from vintage designs.
Yeah, right. Right. And that's why right now, like I said, I'm not running or pushing any ads or spending any money on growing the brand because there's a couple of new things coming out that are really like, I'm super, super stoked on them and everyone's going to be super stoked on them, but they're very, very different from what has happened in the past. And I have like a little sneak peek of one of like the hoodies that would be coming out in a couple of weeks. And it is a lot different from the past designs and everything like that. And I want to, because there is other mental health brands, you know what I mean? The space isn't too, like the clothing brand space is one of the most saturated things out there. And there's not a luxury brand that brings awareness to mental health. And that's what I'm trying to do is elevate the mental health conversation through luxury and very cool, unseen clothes at a very good, reasonable price. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everyone loves a dope sweatshirt. Everyone loves a dope sweatshirt. And everyone loves a dope sweatshirt that has a doper meaning behind it and that actually can benefit from it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I haven't really been like, that's like the number one thing is I don't even look at how much like money's going into the account, anything like that. It's not about that. It's about the passion that I actually have behind like making people happy and growing the brand. Right. And I want to be able to go to a city in a year from now and see 2 HYH sweatshirts and a hat. You know what I mean? And be at the airport and see somebody wearing the Hope You're Happy hat. And then, you know what I mean? Walking in the winter and somebody's wearing a hoodie. That's all I like. That's all I want. And it's been cool. You know what I mean? Back in Massachusetts, it's like pretty big. And my dad still lives in our like hometown where we grew up and stuff. And a bunch of people are home right now for summer. And he's seeing like a bunch of them and sent me a bunch of pictures of them. And it's funny just seeing him being all like proud.
So good. One of the best feelings.
I haven't really experienced that too much. My brother has. He lived up in Albany, New York. And he was just like walking in the city and saw like a Hope You're Happy sweatshirt. And it made like his entire week. A couple of my homies are like out in college in Ohio and I've like seen them at like Darties and different parties and stuff, which is so awesome. You know what I mean? It makes me so happy. Yeah, that actually thing. But I wanted to it just fuels me for more. Like, I want it to be way bigger than it is right now. And sometimes I even look at it and get like a little bit upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has. Sure. And that's why I think after this call and whatever, we will link up at some point because I do want to hear like a direction that you would maybe take some things. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I want as many people helping as they can to literally just benefit as many people. You know what I mean? The message is so strong behind the brand. And I just want to bring more eyes to it and mental health becoming almost like a trend. Right. And people like it's the perfect time for the brand to really heat up. And that's super, super stoked. The next couple of weeks and months, like the brand might not be like growing currently because I'm focusing on different parts of it, but I'm working on like the back end and the infrastructure. So when we do like ramp it up in a couple of weeks, there'll be like massive growth compared to what has been. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm on that mental health trend. So I love that.
Big thing right now.
Yeah.
Something that I'm like not too like proud of and about myself, and I'm not like scared to even say it, is like I think I should be like posting more about like with myself. Pick up the phone and shoot an iPhone video. But like you and Jeff were talking about, I watched that podcast and saw all those clips and everything. There is a huge difference between a good and a bad iPhone video. A
Yeah.
lot of the things that I'll take, I'll just look at them and be like, oh, it's a bad video.
Yeah.
Hard on myself because I'm such a perfectionist with these things.
Yeah.
That it's so bad. I just scratch all of them. That's it. I'm so not proud of that because it could totally benefit somebody if they just saw that video and were like, oh, that's very good. Like, it's just an affirmation. You know what I mean? It's not even like a thematic video with editing it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily maybe at this point have like the confidence to do that. And that's something that I like struggle with because 10,000 people, we keep saying that number, have followed the brand.
Yeah.
I'm following the brand so they can see that type of stuff.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I've already weeded out and heard all of the negative criticism that you could hear. So I don't know why I can't like take that step. It's so frustrating to me.
Yeah.
But I think like, maybe that's why I brought it up. Like hopefully talking publicly about it can make me now be like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Now, like,
for sure. Yeah.
Or like attack that stuff. But
yeah.
You know.
And so obviously I've been structuring it where I post a video and then I make like 14 to 21 clips and post them throughout that week. If any of those are anything you want, I'd be happy to delete it and send it to you so that you're able to use it as well. Just let me know.
Oh, no, bro, you wouldn't have to delete it. We can both use that shit.
Yeah, like a collab. Yeah, whatever works. But just I want you to be comfortable with that. So is the style that you're struggling to do like literally just you picking up and talking to it? Is that kind of what you're wanting to do?
So yes and no, because I would love to. I can do that very easily, but it's like the editing part to it and making it so it's something like a high quality video.
Okay.
And at one of my last photo shoots, Brian Polari, who Jeff, he was there and did the photo shoot, and this kid is crazy talented.
Yeah. With the phone.
He was using the camera, but he was also like, I've seen him with the phone and everything on his clips, and I see stuff like that, and I almost get like demotivated. But it's like, why? Because I don't have. I mean, why would I have that skill? I'm making flows. I'm not making videos.
Right.
So it's like, I think I just have like I have an image in my mind that I want, like a level, and I can't necessarily get it to that level sometimes because I'm a perfectionist. So I just scrap it. There'll be parts of the video where it's like an edit, and then there's other parts where it's like me talking, and then there's some like B-roll shots or whatever.
Yeah.
And just trying to clip them together, and it's like I don't have that sauce yet.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating for sure not being able to do that because I know exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I've been like editing about like in my free time, like I said, like all the skills that I can have to grow the brand. That's what I'm doing. So like in my free time, I'm just editing random shit in CapCut, and doing all this, like watching videos and doing whatever I can so that I can get the confidence and to the level that I want with these videos.
Yeah.
I think me going with a Hope You're Happy sweatshirt and being like, hey, what do you think about this? What does this bring to your mind? So easily could do that, but then also it's just me. I don't. It's just me and the brand. I don't have somebody else that can just like take in 2 hours out of their day and walk around with me filming. You know what I mean? So there is like little struggles throughout the day, or that little like inconveniences that also hold me in that like I need to get around. And that's why it would be so beneficial to have a team and something that I am, I guess, like looking for in the next like 3 to 6 months. I said by like 2024, I want to have a team and I want to have an office.
Yeah,
Those are the
that'd be so sick. Yeah, for sure.
That's like, well, is I think like setting big goals is a big thing that not a lot of people do, and it's a thing that's talked about. But I think actually like those are huge goals and like something that's very hard to do. But now I know it. You know what I mean? It's been said. Why can't I now? I have to work towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been something I've wanted to work towards since I started the brand. It's like office space team, and then everything else can grow from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just finding those exact people. And I think within this year, it's going to happen. I can tell, you know what I mean? A lot of people have been like reaching out, want to get involved, this, that, the other thing. But it's just finding that exact right person and the exact right like vibe, I guess.
Yeah. Funny you say that. I went on there's a podcast around here where they interview creatives, which is so sick. Just like Iowa creatives, like what a niche. So I was on there anyways, and what'd you say?
Wait, so what is this? It's just like an Iowa podcast that goes around?
Yeah, it's called Creatives POV, and it's 3 creatives from Des Moines, which is the capital of Iowa, and they bring in local creatives. Anyways, they asked me a question that I shouldn't have stuttered on, but it's like, what are your goals and what are your inspirations? And I'm like, shoot, like, I don't know. I got like a goal for like, I've been bulking, so I'm like, I got a goal of weight I want to achieve. I got like a financial goal, I guess, like just like looking out for myself. But my main goal is to maintain what I got, which a little bit maybe is not ambitious enough. You know what I mean? Like maybe it is like, yo, an office space, do it, dude. Let's put that on the goal sheet. I love that.
Yeah, that's like, I think I had that problem when I was like a little bit younger, would be like not being as ambitious as I could be, and then getting halted by that, and not, because then you will hit that goal and you won't feel as satisfied, because you know what I mean, there's something else after that.
Yeah,
that's like something else I struggle with, is like just finding that thing that'll make you satisfied.
right. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Who recorded the wide angle iPhone video of the "Hope You're Happy on the Street"? Was that Brian?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just a friend of mine. That was back when I was living in Boston, or actually no, when I was living back home. I would sometimes like go into Boston for like shoots and stuff, and like I still had my bedroom at the my apartment with like all the homies.
Yeah.
So I was able to just like get one of them, and we went out for the day, took a shot.
I was about to say that looked nice. That looked like a nice phone video.
That's a good phone video for sure.
I was about to say if that's your bad phone video, I'm like, bro, you got it down. Like that was good.
No, that's a good phone video. Sure.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's only one like concept, you know what I mean? There's a lot more that I can do, and that are just super, super easy. And like those reels definitely hit, like everyone wants, you know what I mean? That reel did very, very well.
Yeah.
It took I walked across the street, you feel me?
Yeah.
That was early on too. So I think just having like more and more content, and I think right now I am totally in that space, like I've mentioned, of like honing in what the content's gonna be and the exact direction that everything's gonna take. And I really want everything to be super, super high quality, and that's why I've been working with the camera a lot more. And people also like love the like graphics and everything like that, and then finding like a color scheme, all these different things that go into it. Like a lot of people don't necessarily think how much like actually goes into running brand, like, and like even to finding out a font and like running with that font, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that all have to like be cohesive together,
right?
And I think a lot of people don't necessarily take like the credit for what they've like done with that.
Right. Damn, bro. Ooh. What's your favorite like design so far, man? Or can you not choose? They're all fire.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. There's a couple of things like that have been in the vault that I'm super, super stoked on.
Yeah.
I think the hats that are coming out, that I've like hinted at a little bit, are up there for my favorites.
Yeah.
I think everything about each one has their own little like thing to it. But I think the signature has got to be like
Right.
my favorite one that just like everyone has. But the one that I'll see myself wearing the most is the one that I'm in. It's I'm super stoked on it.
You said that's not released yet.
No, give it a little sneak peek, but it's like
Oh.
yeah, super dressed and whatnot.
That's sick.
So
Dang.
yeah, that's probably one of my favorite parts. Just being able to sit down and like try to conceptualize wearing something that I would want to wear every day. And like I said, for the last couple of months of 2023, it'll be huge. For sure.
Oh yeah.
Fall, sure. September, October, November, December. For sure. Watch.
Excited, bro.
Yeah, we have a lot of dope things coming out, and working with some cool people.
Yeah.
That I'm really excited for, like some dream come true type stuff. So
Yeah, I'm excited, bro. I've been I don't know why, but it's been kind of fun, like saying like, wow, I'm gonna hop on a call with Harrison. We've never talked before. Like that kind of excited me a little bit. So I've like held back from connecting a little bit now, but now I'm excited to connect, touch base with you, see how you're doing, see what you're excited about. It'll be dope. But
oh yeah, and like I said, I do really want to like hear more about like the creative directory and how you really like got into everything, and what direction you really would take. Like Hope You're Happy, or little like insights that you may have, because you can take something away from everybody. You know what I mean?
No.
You might have 50 ideas, and I could be like, two of them be like, oh, I could totally implement that some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From
For sure.
And I think it's like a thing for people even listening is being like, oh, I can totally implement that little like aspect into my life.
Yeah.
It's like, then you did your job.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do it.
Yeah, that's in the bio of my podcast. It's like generate ideas for the person I'm talking to, generate ideas for me. But most importantly, the people that are hearing this probably have the coolest ideas because they got the most outside perspective, you know? Yeah. So it's been fun. Yeah. Nah.
How long have you been doing the podcast?
Dude, you'll be my 7th. So, and I've just been doing it weekly. So it's been a humble grind, to say the least.
Brand new ones.
Yeah. Just putting them out is pretty simple. You just edit them up and whatever. But the clips and posting the clips, woo, that takes some grit, dude. So, and
the insights are there. The insights are totally there. You know what
for
I
sure,
mean? Like,
for sure.
And the quality of those is super high. So
Thank you.
I mean, I'm totally going
for sure.
Great practice. You know what I mean? One of them.
Yeah. Right.
One of them.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
Yeah, 100%. The thing with it is I don't let myself get lazy on it. Like you said, you have such an obsession toward it. It's like, yeah, I could maybe come up with 7 clips for a video, but there's at least 21 in there. You know, why aren't you making 21? Why are you wasting this content? You know, use it all. It's that obsession. It's so fun. So it's been fun. But
and I think the process, a lot of people will die down from it, is like the process. This has to be the most fun part.
It has
to. You know what I mean? If you're struggling with the process and not having fun with whatever you're doing, then you shouldn't be doing it. And that's a huge part of why people will like die down with whatever they're doing. It's like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I don't think one time throughout the process of like owning the brand and doing what I've been doing, I've been like, I have to do this or I have to do that. It's like, no, I get to do this and I get to do that. Like, there's so many people that would love to be in the situation that I'm in, you know what I mean? Not going to school, living in Tampa, living in a very like nice area downtown, you know what the case may be. It's like, a lot of people would love to do that. So you just have to be grateful that I get to, I have to edit this picture. No, I get to edit this picture. You know what I mean? The kids doing homework and looking at what the fuck, Chegg, you know, like that.
For sure.
You can just doing that, and I get to like edit a picture. So if you can just be grateful for that, then you're like, that's the number one thing.
Yeah, little perspective switch goes a long way. But if you do truly hate something, you gotta be able to recognize that too. It's like, yeah, it might look cool as a social thing to other people. For say, someone's at this crazy cool coding job, like, oh, I code for Google, but they hate it. It's like you gotta let go of that social society thing that you feel good about. It's like, no, you hate it. Get rid of that. I don't know. It's important.
I think that the whole ego part of business is something that is like a very hard thing to distinguish, and I think a lot of people do have an issue with running. And I've honestly even like kind of experienced that with throughout the past couple of months. Is like when you start dilating and focusing on, okay, for example, I need to make X amount of money this month, and I need to do this, and this to make that much money. I found through the experience I haven't made close to that amount of money versus when the money hasn't even been in my mind and I've just been following my passion and what I think is right, and then all the money in the world will come, and that's not even what it's about.
Right.
That's what when you're just focusing on how much money can I make and what can I do to make this blow up, then you're doing it for all the wrong reasons and you're focusing on all the wrong parts of it.
Yeah. It's funny there
Those it's so much better because you're just like, what's the best clip and what am I like passionate about and what am I having fun editing versus like, all right, which clip will maybe blow up and what the algorithm will work with and I can get the most follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're like, what are you doing it for? I don't know.
Exactly. No, 100%. There. What? Close it off, man. What's next? What are you looking forward to? What's got you hyped?
September, October, November, December.
All right, leave it there. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to. I guess I'm looking forward to waking up tomorrow and making myself as proud as I can and being as happy as I can, and just working on the building on the next day and the next day after that.
Love that. I'm looking forward to ending this call feeling fueled, feeling another perspective that has motivated me, and I'm excited to put this thing out. It'll be sick. Appreciate you coming on and talking, and it's been fun. It's been fun not talking to you beforehand. It's been unique. It's been new. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super thank you for the opportunity and everything, boss. I like appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to like continuously chop it up and keep in touch.
For sure. Yeah, let me know, man. That'd be dope. Anyways, it's been real well. Catch you around.
All right, bro. Be easy.